There are villains, and then there's Ma Derong, the smiling tiger from the latest hit drama. He's not just evil, he's a total paradox. So today, we're going to break down how this show mixes pure monstrosity with these shocking moments of humanity, all brought to life by Wu Gong's insane performance to create a character that just gets right under your skin.
Okay, so how are we going to tackle this? Simple. First, we'll look at the pure evil of his actions. Then, we're going to search for his one big weakness. After that, we'll dive into the silent acting that made him so terrifying. And finally, we'll talk about what this character really tells us about ourselves. All right, first up, pure evil. Before we get into all the complicated stuff, we have to be crystal clear about the monster we're dealing with. Let's start at ground zero.
It all comes down to this one number, 83. And that's not just a statistic, is it? That's 83 people, 83 lives, lost in a mine disaster that he just buried, all to protect his own little empire. This isn't some throwaway backstory, you guys. This is the foundation of everything he is. And this is what makes him so terrifying, right? This massive gap between what you see and what's really there. On one hand, he's this well-dressed guy, calmly serving tea to the cops. But underneath, this is a man who hid a bloody diary and had someone killed just to keep them quiet. That whole smiling tiger thing, it's not just a nickname, it's his weapon. It's the mask he uses to hide the monster.
And this quote, man, it just nails it. See, his evil isn't some big, loud, theatrical thing. It's this deep, quiet cold. It's not even about the things he does. It's about what's not there. That total lack of warmth, that icy calculation. That's the truly scary part.
Okay, so he's a monster, we get it. But a perfect monster can be kind of boring, right? A bit one-dimensional. And this is where the show gets so smart. They build up this absolute wall of ice, and then they show us a tiny crack. They give this demon a weakness. Which brings us to the big question. Does a living king of hell even have a soul? The show really wants you to chew on that one. And the answer is what takes this character from a cartoon villain to something, well, something much more real and unsettling. And here it is, his one weak spot, his family. Just think about that scene at his son's grave. He says nothing. His face is a total blank. But his hand tells you everything. It's gripping this pocket watch, knuckles white, veins popping. His entire breakdown is happening right there, in that one silent tremor. This is the same guy who would literally shield his granddaughter with his own body. So what does that do to us, the audience? It creates this impossible conflict inside your own head. You hate this guy, you want him to pay, but then you see this flash of a grieving father, and you can't help but feel something. Maybe pity? It's that whiplash, that back and forth that makes him so hard to shake. Which leads us to the performance itself. How in the world did the actor Wu Gang pull this off, a lot of times without even saying a word? Let's get into his masterpiece of silent acting. Yeah, there's a reason people online are calling this wrinkle acting. It's not about big, loud, explosive scenes. It's the total opposite. Wu Gang's performance is all about the micro-expressions. It's in the tiny details, making every single line on his face tell part of the story. Think about that moment he finds out his son is dead. There's no yelling, no crying. The first thing you see is the light just drain from his eyes. Then his whole face just collapses. It goes from total control to just nothing, dead ash. And later, when the walls are closing in, that famous smile doesn't disappear. It freezes. It stiffens, inch by inch, like it's about to shatter. It's incredible to watch. And that's why everyone is talking about this performance. It is way more powerful than any scream could ever be. The power is in the silence, in the restraint. It's just a masterclass. All right, let's pull back for our last section. Why are we all so obsessed with this character? When we're talking about Ma Derong, what are we really talking about? It's pretty clear what's going on. We, as an audience, are just tired of simple, one-note villains. We don't want cardboard cutouts anymore. We want characters who are messy, who are conflicted, because, honestly, that feels a lot more real. And that's why Ma Derong works so well. He's a mirror. He's not some alien monster. He reflects some pretty uncomfortable truths about power, greed, and human nature right back at us. So, what are we seeing in that reflection? Well, there's the evil of capital, for sure, the destructive power of obsession, the really complicated, messy love a father can have, and maybe the toughest one to swallow, that mix of light and dark that's in every single one of us. And maybe this is the most chilling point of all. The show seems to be saying that nobody is born a demon. Evil isn't where you start, it's where you can end up. He was pushed to the edge, bit, by fate, by desire, by obsession. So, in the end, the final question really isn't about him, is it? It's about us. He forces us to look at the monster and then to turn around and ask ourselves a much more disturbing question. How far are we from the edge?